Welcome back everyone for another Evertale summoning video. So today I'm gonna be summoning for the new Snow White. Like Snow White slash Snow Black. So I'm kind of interested in how she's gonna play out because this is our very first transformation character, which isn't necessarily a summon. It's like it kind of acts as a summon, but it's not a summon. It's like a summon in the sense of like it has an entry skill that just automatically, but it's honestly more like a transformation. I think it's just more so summon like just to fit the current like mechanisms of how the game works and how the game plays. But I think it's pretty much a transformation. It's just a transformation using the current mechanics that we have in Evertale. That's kind of my impressions from it. So yeah, I'm not gonna go dive too deep into it, but I'm thinking Blood slash Overdrive, like one of the two. Snow White is definitely more supportive with more heals and spirit and like Overdrive orientated, while Snow Black is more blood focused, like blood summons and just sacrificing to do a whole lot of damage and then unlocking for a little Dark Garden. So I'm not exactly sure how she's gonna play out, which is why I think I'm gonna summon for her on my Overdrive team first, play her a little bit, and then kind of like get a feel for her first before I summon on the Blood team or possibly Survival team, but we will see. But the reason why I figured Overdrive is because the main selling point for me is this little Dark Garden, and that costs a lot of spirit. That's 4 spirit, and her spirit gain over here is only 1. So I feel like she's just gonna need a lot of supporting units to get that spirit in order to like potentially use it a decent amount of times or use it reliably. And like she can kind of get a blood sacrifice without ally supports just because of her entry skill. She can get at least like 2 shots off and hopefully kill something, but I could be wrong. And I guess my concern for the Overdrive team is this instant restore, just because most units don't cleanse a burn unit of their burn if they want to be burned, but Light Anya proved wrong, and that kind of sucked. And like it's not the easiest to use her on a burn team. Like you just probably shouldn't. And my concern for the Blood team is just the spirit usage. Like Snow White, she can give a lot of spirit with double spirit, but Snow Black in her transform state, she's gonna be very spirit hungry. So which is why I'm like, I think, yeah, my concern for Blood team is just having enough spirit, because the blood units that I use already are already fairly spirit hungry, and the only like kind of nice one that you don't really have to worry about spirit as much is Dark Reina, because it costs 0 and she can like use her blood skills without using any spirit, and she could potentially steal spirit from the enemy. But yeah, I'm gonna summon for her on the Overdrive team and play around a little bit, and if I kind of like her, then sure, I'll go and summon for her on my other teams. But let's see if we can get a copy. So we're starting at 562. Hopefully we don't have to go too far. Maybe 100 or 200. Okay, there's 3. Maybe this one. 40. 40. Nice. Definitely worth it. 40 is. Yeah, I'll definitely take 40. 40 is really nice. Oh, what? Oh, okay. I was like, no, that's a different intro. I was like, there's no way I could get 2 within 40. Yeah. All right. So I am going to blow her up a bit. Hopefully I can just get her to. Yeah, I should have enough. Yeah. I'm gonna level her up again, and then give you a little bit of impressions after I do a little bit of gameplay and see if I do another summoning. So I will be back. Okay, so I'm just gonna do like my first impressions, which is gonna be the same for the summoning video and the gameplay video of her, like towards the end, like at the ending. So I feel like she's in a weird spot. So going over her kit, Double Spirit, I feel like it's nice. It doesn't do any damage though, which is kind of a downside, where like it literally doesn't do any damage. So like if it's like a 1 hit, 1 HP, like it just does the spirit thing, which is nice, but like it'd be nice to have like a very small light tap attack instead of like a all or nothing with the little bright garden, which is 600% was actually a lot. Like it did a good amount of damage. And the only thing is like it's essentially an overdrive skill. Instant restoration was better than I thought it would be. It's nice that she doesn't cure burn units of burn, which was like definitely like what most AI should do. And it's nice because it's instant. So like if you do have like a little bit of healing to do, you can do that healing and then do your next turn or something, or do whatever you need to of like getting more spirit or doing your big attack. And then for dark transformation, one of your units, doesn't have to be her, has to kill an enemy, or you wait for 300. I would probably go with the one of your kill one of the enemy units. It's just faster, it's easier, and I feel like it's just more likely to happen, because in terms of waiting for survival to unlock, I feel like that's kind of a long time. Like if you're, the only reason why like that ever happened is like maybe you're running a survival team, but just in general, you're even with a survival team, you're probably more likely to get a kill off before you unlock a survival skill. So I think this is like a backup, but most likely you're gonna get a kill off first. I guess yeah, most likely you're gonna get a kill off first, but it's there just in case. And then doubling the spirit, really nice at the beginning, and the speedy thing is just instant, so it's part of the transformation, but I think it allows a little bit more flexibility. Like if you don't want to have her on the first floor, you can have her in a reinforcement, plus the whole flipping between transformations also helps to like get that little additional passive of getting more spirit. Whole ground plus is definitely needed if you do decide to invest in her. It definitely comes in a lot of handy, especially if you're hiding behind a guard and the enemy has a skill that hits multiple, like 2 units or everyone. Having that whole ground plus is definitely a nice thing to save you, like as a just in case it gets past your guard or your guard dies or something. What I didn't like about it for the dark transformation is like it just, for both transformations honestly, it forces you to transform, which I didn't like. For Snow Black dark summons, I think this is actually a really good skill. It's 70, it's fast, it does a little bit of damage, it's essentially a life flip that gives you spirit, which is insane already, and when it's not life flipping, it's giving you 2 more at the end. So I think this is actually honestly one of her best skills, is the Dark Summon along with her um, instant restoration. Like, I think those two are like some of her best skills. Like, it's fast and it's just good. Blood, her blood skill, it's a sacrifice. 600 is, it hits hard. Heals 100% of max HP, and you need Mori, so you don't like accidentally sacrifice your actual units, which is, I guess it's always nice to have just in case, because just the AI, it kind of helps to force it to use Mori, because I have had times where they sacrifice other units that aren't actually Mori, which kind of sucked. So that's kind of a nice just fail safe for the AI. Little Dark Garden, again, like I feel like this was the biggest selling point for me, because that's massive. That's a lot of damage to all the enemies and ignores stealth plus the damage reduction. But when I was playing, I feel like this was actually pretty hard to get off, to be honest, to get Little Dark Garden, because I feel like the requirements are very specific and very unforgiving. So because of that, I feel like this is the one of the main reasons why I wanted to pull for her. But I feel like you shouldn't pull for her just for this skill. Like, because it's hard to maintain. Well, okay, so you have to have let's just like start from scratch of how to get to that skill, how to get to Little Dark Garden, like all the factors that you need to get right in order for it to work. One, you start off with Snow White, so you first have to get the transformation off, so you have to get a kill or a unlock. But let's say if the enemy has a very strong guard and you just can't get past it, then I guess eventually that's the backup for the survival part. And that's like part of like why she has Whole Ground Plus, to like help her survive for that long. But it's gonna, like, you have to meet that first requirement. After that, sure, you get your Dark Transformation, but then you have to get a blood kill off, because you need to defeat at least one enemy. So you have to get a kill off, but her main attack needs sacrifice, which honestly it wasn't that much of an issue. But she needs to be strong enough, essentially. She needs to be invested enough to get the kill off. So that's second requirement. First was transformation. Second requirement is get a blood kill off. Third requirement is she needs to have enough spirit, which is 4 spirit, which is, I was running a Overdrive team and it fluctuated a bit, like a bunch, a decent amount, and having 4 spirit when it came her turn was kind of like a 50-50, maybe less. Like, it was kind of a gamble, because she's not the only unit. Like, and the thing is, like, I don't think you want her to be your only unit, because she will potentially flip back and forth between a DPS and support. So I feel like you definitely want another, like, either DPS or a sub DPS, along with probably a very strong guard and yeah, something else. But yeah, so having 4 spirit when it comes her turn, I feel like it's very up in the air. And if you're running a blood team, that's gonna be really hard. Like anything that's not Overdrive, having 4 spirit on her turn is gonna be rough. Like, it's gonna be pretty hard. Unless, like, you can throw in, like, Light Mirai and other spirit builders like Haku, whatnot. But, yeah, that's like the third circumstance you need to go right. The fourth circumstance is her light transformation. You can't have anybody die on you, like any of your teammates, because if any of your teammates die, she's transforming. She's locking up all her other skills, and she's transforming, and then you're gonna have to meet all of those 4 previous requirements all over again, because then you're gonna have to again go back to that cycle. Get the dark transformation off, get a kill off, because she's no longer, even though you got that first kill off, it doesn't matter because it counts as a new unit. And then again, you're gonna have to hope you have enough spirit and just pray that your guard or other units are strong enough to not die and force her out of the transformation. So because of those 4 requirements, in order to just use this one move. Okay, post-editing thought, I actually kind of forgot. There's actually a 5th condition that when I was going over the game footage again, I don't know why I forgot about it, but I forgot about it. The 5th condition is she actually has to select Little Dark Garden to actually use. Because of the AI, for me, if she had burn or poison, because of the status, she would sometimes use her blood skill because it recovered HP. Even though everything for Little Dark Garden was unlocked, she had enough spirit, she had the conditions met. Because she had like 1 damage from burn or poison, she would use the blood skill instead to heal herself. So it wasn't always, because again, like, I don't know what the AI's deal is, because it would pick the blood attack, and then later on I was like, okay, it's just never gonna use Little Dark Garden, and then it used it. So the AI is it's kind of a gamble. So yeah, that's the 5th condition for it to work out, is having the AI actually select Little Dark Garden is the 5th one. Yeah. I feel like it's just too inconsistent to rely solely on this skill, or like be the only reason to pull for her. And the other thing is, I don't know, I feel like I don't want to make it sound like she's a bad unit, because I feel like if you invest in her, she can be a good unit. It's just there's a lot of things that need to go right. That's why I feel like she's not necessarily a beginner-friendly unit. And yeah, I guess that's my main thought on her. As an Overdrive team, I would say probably Overdrive. If you had to do Overdrive or Blood or Survival, I would probably go Overdrive, just because, especially if you're going for a Little Dark Garden. If you don't care about Little Dark Garden and you just go for the blood skill, then yeah, you could go the blood route if you don't care about Little Dark Garden, just because you're probably not gonna have enough spirit. Like, yeah, my blood team, it uses a good amount of spirit. There's no way that you're gonna have 4. Like, it's gonna be very, very rare to have 4. And then, like, if she's just a blood unit, I feel like she'd still do decent. Like, she's, like, again, Dark Summon's really good. Blood skill, it's pretty solid, but it's just the transformations and just flipping back and forth that kind of gets to me. Like, I guess she's kind of 2 units, and it's nice that her hold ground plus will more or less reset every time she transforms. But at the same time, I feel like these two units would be better separate, to be honest. Either separate or as a summon, but just going back and forth, I feel like it's kind of hard. Like, they don't really, like, they kind of complement, but they don't complement each other. Because again, it's support and then DPS. Like, yeah, I don't know. I'm not the biggest fan of the transformation, but yeah, and like, if you were to do a blood team, you could just get a full-on supporter and not have to worry about the inconsistency of the supports, and the sense of like, yes, sometimes I'm getting healed, but then she transforms and then I can't get the heals anymore for my damage dealers. And then it's, oh yeah, sometimes I'm getting spirit, but sometimes I have absolutely no spirit because this black version is just guzzling all the spirit. Or sometimes I have DPS, but sometimes I just can't get a kill off, and because I can't get a kill off, she can't transform until 300 TU later. But because I couldn't get those kills off, my ally died, and then she has to transform right back to the light mode, and she's stuck in the light mode. So I feel like it's very gimmicky. Usually I like it. I feel like it's just too much though. So yeah, let me know what you think in the comments below. Are you gonna pull for her? What do you think? I like it. It's different, but I feel like it's too niche, gimmicky, and it's too circumstantial for everything to work out specifically in your favor. I want to say she definitely can work well if you have a very, very strong guard and a very strong DPS. Like, I think ideally it'd be a very strong DPS that can kill before she gets a turn, paired with her as a second. Third would be a very strong guard that just does not die, so that it doesn't put her back into the white mode. And I guess maybe a support. Yeah, sure. I do like a support with a lot of spirit, a DPS, her, and a guard. And then those four would probably be your first four, would be my guess. That way you could still get spirit from whatever support you have. You can still get DPS, and then you can still like have a guard so that she doesn't flip-flop. And I think ideally you just kind of want her to stay in Snow Black, because getting that kill off and then having to repeat the cycle would be annoying. But yeah, if you have a solid team, then I'd say any you want to go for her, but I don't think she's very beginner friendly. And yeah, but again, like, from the gameplay that you saw, if you can get Little Dark Garden off and you can keep her in Snow Black, she's amazing. Like, it's crazy. But again, that's if you can meet all the right situations, scenarios, circumstances for her to use that skill and kind of like keep using it. But yeah, that's, I guess, my first impressions of her. Thanks for watching, everybody. Subscribe if you can, and I will see you all in the next video. Take care. Bye.